What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. And we are back with another one. Episode 22 of them things. We ready to go. We ready to get into it. I'm your host, Jay, the lone one, the producer, the babyface's favorite babyface, your mother's favorite babyface. But that's not what we're here about. Right now, we're going to bring in my co-host, the one, the only, Mr. Heroic. Take it away from here.
All rise for your favorite co-host. That's right. He is the wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. No cap to be found there. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Tori. He is hero and I am he. And all rise for the Underlord, Loner Priest, El Campeon.
Wepa!
What do you want to pot about?
It is a great day to pot about wrestling, people. Jam-packed week. A lot of good stuff happened. A lot of story threads continuing. A 60-minute match happened somewhere. You know, we're going to talk all about it here. But without further ado, let's jump into our news segment. What we got?
Yeah, it's quick. Not a crazy news week. Breaking news. Sky Blue just got injured wrestling Hikaru Shida. It looks bad. Yeah, the match stopped due to ref stoppage because of the injury. It looked like she tried to catch her doing a crossbody outside. Looks like her knee buckled or something. It looks bad. So shout out to or prayers out to Sky Blue.
Speedy recovery. Hopefully nothing too crazy. Like she did come back with a new fit, new gear, the whole nine.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, it's again, yeah, the waves are pretty light this week. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are gonna have a face-off on the Hot Ones versus, so that should be fun.
That'll be good.
Yeah, July 22nd. So yeah, that's like in 2 days or so, 3 days. Yeah, that would be cool. And then, speaking of injuries, I should have did this next. It looks like Braun Strowman is going to get his knee checked out. He says he's kind of has like a bum knee, feels like there's problems. And if you watch the last couple of matches, you can kind of tell he's starting to get that Matt Hardy doo-doo walk where, he's starting, he's not looking too good. And, people that size have, trouble with longevity, especially like the way he was used, because there was a point in time where he was used consistently every single show.
He was running around the rings week in, week out.
So yeah, I think it's just wear and tear because he's a big guy, he's a big boy. So yeah, but hopefully it works out and just use him sparingly. Make him an attraction again, or I don't know, something, or keep it, or put him in a tag so he doesn't have to do that much work. But yeah, shout out to Braun. Hopefully his knee isn't too bad, and we don't. Because he's someone else who also kind of just got back in the last couple months. So. Right.
And hasn't had like the push since he's been back. We kind of see like they're flirting with like, what to do with Braun, just, waiting for stories to kind of like subside and whatnot. But yeah, shout out to Braun. Hopefully, you get that checked out. Hopefully nothing too serious and whatnot. Yeah, shout out to all the wrestlers, man, that's going through injuries. Like, that's just kind of crazy. It's like the bugs hit everybody, like every promotion possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And then last thing, it was just announced today that the Pro Wrestling Noah's Naomichi Marufuji, I believe is the pronunciation. He was the guy that AJ Styles just wrestled last week. But yeah, it seems like he is going to make an appearance at SummerSlam, which is pretty big. A Noah athlete, or talent from Noah, going to go to one of the big 4 pay-per-views. He'll probably be something small, probably interact with like Shinsuke or maybe AJ again, more than like probably AJ since they just wrestled.
Yeah.
But yeah, should be cool. And that's a good promotion for them. It's a good promotion for him. He gets the big TV crowd, big 4 pay-per-views. So yeah, so that's cool.
It is like the WWE doing like these crossovers, man. Like it's like we talked about it before. It's big. Like taking Noah and giving them like national coverage at SummerSlam is pretty big. And like who's to say that like next year Noah like has some kind of interaction in SummerSlam? It's a 2-day event. You might be able to have some kind of storyline going on there. Maybe Shinsuke is fighting him next year, we don't know. But right now, they playing ball with a lot of different promotions right now. Respectfully, I know Slammiversary is tonight, and hopefully there's some more like NXT or WWE like shows or show ups or pop ups.
Yeah, no MSK is going to be there, or the Rascals actually. They're all going to be there. So Wesley and Charlie Dempsey's going to be there again, and no Quarter Catch crew. That whole crew is going to be there. But yeah, and I mean, there's still time to come. Hopefully, we get a Natty appearance or something.
That's what I'm saying. Natty interfering in the Jordan Grace match. We might be able to get some.
Yeah, because I think she's fighting Ash by Elegance, aka Dana Brooke. So that can FKA. I mean, so that just reminded me real quick. There was a news thing that it was pretty big, and I don't remember it getting flushed out all the way. But earlier in the week, it was announced that WWE are going to let people keep their names when they leave the company. They'll still be under trademark, but when they leave, they can keep their name. And then Sean Rossap was like, I don't think you guys think it means what you guys think it does. And I don't remember him elaborating on that since then. But either way, eventually people will be able to, once they get released, they'll be able to keep their name, whatever that name was, and whatever that means, so.
Right. And I got to look back into the research because there are some situations where people end up using their names anyway, like Adam Cole, and is Adam Cole's real name? I don't know. I haven't really looked that up. But if it was trademarked by WWE, he would have to go by something else because they have his real name trademarked. But I got to do some more research. I'll figure that out. But it is still big that they're able to keep their names because that's like part of the character, So when you leave somewhere and you can be, the name that you had in WWE and continue to like, make money and stuff off of that.
Yeah, and it's good.
I know
one. Oh yeah, continue.
No, I know one situation is like that I can think of is like the Bella Twins and how they weren't able to use like their names for all the branding that they had when they left the company. And I felt like that was a really hard blow to them because the world knows them as like the Bella Twins and whatnot. And they just rebranded to the Garcia Twins, which is their actual names and what. But they could have definitely used that rocket of the Bella Twins outside of like, WWE.
Right. And I was going to say it's not just good for the X talent or whatever. It's also good for the indie shows and promotions that pick them up. Because
True.
they're gonna make that money off of that name. Like, oh, it's I don't want to use it's actually Jinder Mahal. Like, I mean, he didn't get to keep his name; he missed that cut. But when you look at one of those promotional pictures you see from like a Prestige, you always see like it's this person, FKA. Oh, it was what was Athena's first name? Shit like that. Anyway, yeah. So it's like it's Athena showing up, FKA Ember Moon for the people who might know her as that, or like if Mercedes did it, then it would have been like FKA Sasha or whatever. But Mercedes was a big enough starter where people kind of just recognize her face. But anyway, yeah, it's a good thing for everybody. It makes the evil corporation look a little less evil. The talent get to keep their shit, make the money, like you said, and then the other promotions such as like like a Prestige or indie shows, they also garner that money too because the name value and the name recognition. So and that's pretty much it for the news.
Let's jump into it. Let's open up Monday Night Raw.
Word.
Brutality episode.
Yeah, the brutality episode, the return of Mommy. Which was the opening of the show. Rhea opens the show. She's saying a bunch of stuff. Dom shows up. He has a rose. It's very a la, Eddie Guerrero, China. He's kind of trying to apologize. Liv shows up on the screen, and then it's essentially this is the setup the match for SummerSlam. So we're going to get the rematch at SummerSlam for the women's title. Apparently, Rhea is not cleared yet, and she won't have any physical stuff until probably literally SummerSlam. So that's interesting, but I mean, I trust her, and the doctors trust them or whatever, so it should work out. But what did you think about this whole opening segment? I mean, it was very CW,
Yeah. First things first, Dom's in the doghouse. She's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
She's not fucking with him right now at all. Liv knows what she's doing, and clearly, like she's falling for Dom. This is not a trick, not a sabotage. She's actually, a love interest, potential love interest for Dom. The statement that I got from this, one of the statements that Rhea had said, is that she's going to end Liv's career. Liv went on this revenge tour. Rhea's like, you know what? You're not going to have a tour. I'm about to end it all. Overall, it's entertaining, to say the least. I think that this story is going to be very intricate. We still got, a week until SummerSlam? Maybe 2 weeks until SummerSlam? I got to check my calendar, but
I think it's 2 weeks, because next week is the
2 weeks?
28th.
Yeah.
Next Sunday.
So 2 weeks until SummerSlam, so it's definitely going to start to heat up. I'm more looking forward to this next episode of Monday Night Raw to kind of see how they kick up and spice things up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that whole thing plays this whole story plays out through the whole show, because Judgment Day shows up pretty much the entire show. There's a backstage segment later where you see Priest and Rhea catch up, and you can tell that these are the two leaders, these are the two pillars of Judgment Day or whatever, and you can tell it's we talked about it last week. Like internally, as of right now, on the internal roster, Rhea is listed as a babyface. And based on this promo with Priest and Gunther that happens later, which we will talk about, Priest is pretty much damn near solidified babyface now as well.
True.
Especially after what we talked about last week about him reneging, going back on his going back on his gentleman's agreement with Seth. That was more further seeds planted, and so it looks like they are the baby faces. So the next 2 weeks, like you said, is going to be interesting, because seeing how the Gunther match is going to play out, seeing how this match is going to play out, and what that means for the Judgment Day as a whole, it's only a matter of time until this group implodes or branches off and splits up. So it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And Dom further puts himself in the doghouse, because later in the show also, listening to, I wouldn't say not bad advice, but some interesting advice. And he pretty much goes to Rhea and says, "You're my mommy," or some shit like that. And everyone's like, "Woo!" It's that moment in the sitcom where the fucking live crowd is like, "Woo!"
Why'd you say that?
That's not cool.
Definitely.
Which sets up some stuff. It sets up a match between Jay and Dom, because Dom is trying to get back in Mommy's good graces, and he didn't like the way Jay was hitting on Mommy, and that didn't pan out the way that he wanted. Jay wins that match, but it's interesting to see.
She asked him. She was like, "Why are you picking fights with Jay Uso? Like, you can't. This is out of your league."
Right.
And the quote was, "Still my mommy and you belong to me." And I was like, no, bro. You don't never say that. That's an instant no, bro. Goddamn.
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, man.
Who do you think you is, Taylor Swift? You belong to me? Like, goddamn, bro. Relax.
But, is there anything else you want to say about, because that was pretty much the whole, and that was, there was a segment every hour of the show, but that was all of Judgment
pretty
Day,
much.
pretty much.
Yeah. I did like the segment. I did like her questioning, why the hell is Carlito here? The segment where she takes Dom's flowers and just throw them out, like she's over it. I mean, and even then, at the end of it, where throughout later on the back half of the night, she just tells him straight up, like, I don't belong to anyone. I'm not yours. You're mine. And I was like, damn. I mean, that's how it's been working. Like, you're not the power position here, Dom. I own you, not the other way around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all convoluted right now, and maybe that's maybe that's gonna be a hindrance on Dom. Maybe Dom's like, no, I want you to be mine, and not the other way around. And maybe that could be why he chooses Liv. Maybe Liv's all submissive to Dom. Maybe that's what he's looking for. Maybe Dom want to be in the power position.
I mean, it only takes one Red Pill podcast. You only got to listen to Andrew Tate one time. He'll be on it. I need a submissive woman. I need people to
put that man Dom on Fresh and Fit.
Yeah. He'll, I need a woman who's going to buy me my chicken tenders. So, which Liv did. Liv did do that. Liv did it.
She did. She did.
Quick
PS5.
Yeah. I mean, man. Just a quick thing. It looks like Pete, after Sheamus and Bronson Reed had a pretty good match. Pete Dunne
was a good match.
It was a good match. Pete Dunne attacked Sheamus. Like we said last week, Tyler Bates going to be out for a while. So they're playing on the story of Sheamus leaving the Brawling Brutes and, Butch is in Chase U now and all this other shit. But yeah, just an interesting thing. I just wanted to know. This is something that to pay attention to. So, like, Pete's not going to be lost in the wind. He's not going to just be in catering. It looks like there's a story coming.
Pete's cold in like a singles run too. So like this is going to be very interesting for Pete. The match itself, like there was Bronson Reed powerbombing Sheamus, which is fucking nuts. Sheamus is lifting up Bronson Reed. Like I enjoy seeing like the quote unquote heavyweights, super heavyweights lift each other up. We don't get a lot of that. You don't get a lot of like big dudes lifting up other big dudes. Like this was definitely a power of like men. I was gonna say power of the meats, but that sounds kind of crazy. And speaking of the meats, Pat calls it the Monday Night Meat, and I was like, oh god, we're just gonna keep this thing going, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, the joke. I mean, the joke stopped being funny a while ago. I'm gonna keep using it for at least a little longer. But like, yeah, once motherfuckers was trying to have a Meat Madness match and all sorts of shit, like it was like, all right, all right, you guys. Like,
oh yeah, no Meat Madness. We don't need no meat tornadoes. I'm cool.
It's like when white people first started using for shizzle, and it's like now we got to switch it up. Like what the?
He says meat's the new woke.
Yeah, man, meat is the new woke. They're gonna be using meat for everything.
For everything, out of context.
For real. We get a quick explanation which sets up the main event with Ilya and Sami Zayn. It was a really good promo. Sami was gassing Ilya up because Ilya was like, he felt like it was for pity, but he's like, nah, man, you're really good. And that just sets up some shit for later because Braun Breaker was upset that Ilya was getting this title match, which Priest, I believe, kicked him out of the building, which you know how that always goes. I don't think it's ever worked. So, like, you know how that goes. Next thing. All right, so the next big thing was the Priest and Gunther face-off promo.
Mm-hmm.
Would you talk? Yeah,
I got quotables.
All right,
I got quotables for sure. Well, okay, I got good and I got bad. All right, or not bad, but just I'll explain it. First off, this man was like, "Spare you the embarrassment. Just hand me my title and we can be on our way." Like, you know how disrespectful that is to come up to a man who's the champion. It's like, look, we all know it's going to happen. Let me just spare you the embarrassment before we even get to SummerSlam. Just hand it over here, man. It was nice. It's on your shoulder, but we all know it's supposed to go to your boy. And shit, I mean, if you ask any of the majority of like WWE fans right now, we all are probably in the same agreement that like Gunther is probably walking out of there with that belt. But maybe not. Maybe Priest got something to say about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm still of the belief it's going to happen in Germany. I was talking to DT. He's of the belief that Damian will win at least the SummerSlam match. I mean, only time will tell. It's TBT or TBD. But I think I keep saying Dom. I think Damian will win this first going. But man, this promo was heat, man. They both did a really fucking good job. And
they did. It's just context, man. Like I love the. Okay, no. Let me explain. All right. Please. So like, Priest's promo is like, I grew up hardcore. I fought my life on the streets, like blase, and Gunther says, "I recognize your hardships, but being on the streets is a choice." And I'm like, oh fuck.
This nigga hit him with the pull yourself by your bootstraps.
Here we go. And then, yeah, it was crazy, bro. And And I hate the street angles for this exact reason, because he's like, people like you is always like, he uses the people like you, and I feel like the people like you is always cheap heat, because it's like you put yourself in like that I'm better than you kind of category, right? Which is what that's for, but it's always used against like the Booker T's, you know, the minorities,
people
the minorities, bro.
Which
it's
is why
always used like I hate it so much.
And it came out because there was a Damian documentary that just came out, like I think it was 2 days before Raw, or maybe the day before Raw, and it gave like his life story. And I didn't watch it, but I know it's heartfelt. And I mean, I already had respect for Damian Priest. I have a picture with him, actually, really nice guy. But yeah, it like, yeah, he hit him with that, man. You just you're an Aladdin street rat, you know. You
dead ass, bro, dead ass.
He's like, you bisexual Aladdin street rat. You
Aladdin street rat.
Your parents failed you, nigga.
Being poor was a choice. Go get a job, nigga. Damn, like, just like fuck, bro.
He literally said, "I can't relate. My family did everything for me.
Did everything for me.
I set me up."
A loving mother and father who took care of me, like he supported my dreams.
Yeah, he was he was one step away from calling him a DEI champion.
Man, bro. I swear to God, like the promo was so gas. I just hate that angle. It fucking kills me. You know what? Let me see some other shit, bro. Let me see. Go ahead and bring up Chad Gable and be like, people like you, yeah, peasant. Like, that'd be cool. I'll be Gucci. Just stop doing it against the minorities, bro.
I feel you. But the reason why it works, the reason why it's effective is because
it's minority.
The real, I mean, it's not just because. I mean, it's also like we again, like if we watch the documentary, you know his story. So it's like he's. I mean, obviously this was all planned, but like it in other, like you could argue that this was a shoot, but no, it was planned. But those were hard hitting ass words. And it's something that most people can relate to at some point.
Yeah.
At least most people.
It does its job.
You know, I remember eating government cheese and shit. Like it fucking hits. It like, yeah, and cheap heat will always be cheap heat. Like, it's, you know, when you make fun of the crowd, you know, the home crowd and shit like that. But sometimes if it's the right person, it works. And Gunther was one of those right people characters to, like, because if someone else delivered it, it probably. I mean, it would still hit, but it wouldn't hit as it wouldn't come off the same way, because we like Gunther really backs up the shit that he talks, you know, and he is prestigious. He is like he's the next one. Like he is him. Like that's fucking Gunther. That is the ring general, you know. So like it coming from him makes it like, yeah, you do feel really belittled.
It hits, bro. It hits. He does such a good job at that. He'd be like, yeah. Poor street rat. You'd be like, hey man, fuck you. Like, you take it so personal because he's delivering it so, like, you know, passionate and like effective. It gets the job done.
It's really good heel shit. And I don't know if it's also having an accent, but I think having an accent kind of helps, like low key, because like it reminds, you know, like old. I mean, that's one of the reasons why foreigners were always heels, because it's like it's a really stereotypical trope. But you know, think about like Die Hard, the first Die Hard, like that villain is, you know, he's English or something. Like there's something about like having a evil European. It just hits. That's why James Bond films hit. The Drago. You know, he dies. Exactly. So, but man, yeah, in this promo for sure, like Priest as of right now, he's a full-fledged babyface, because
absolutely
the way he was getting talked down to, and he carried himself well too. Like this was a really good promo battle. Like it was really good. I agree. I don't think anyone outdid the other one like super crazy. I think it was pretty even. I think it was really good.
Yeah,
it was and it was effective. I want to see Priest, like, because I remember weeks ago I was like, man, I feel like Seth is the bigger match, but like letting it play out,
and it is. We can be right.
You know, it is. But now like I have a nice emotional investment now. Like, I want to see Priest kick his ass. Like, I need Priest to win the SummerSlam match now. Gunther can get that shit in Germany, fine, whatever the fuck. But no, I kind of need Priest to, like, you can't just be calling the minorities broke boys like that. You know, fuck all that, bro. No, I need. I need that broken arrow.
Whoop his ass, Priest. Fuck him up.
Yeah.
You know, like niggas be mad too because niggas be sitting there like, yeah, fuck him up. He's Russian. He's like, he's not Russian. The German nigga, fuck him up. Like somebody at home right now going crazy. Like, and that's just the emotion that you want, man. It's a good one. It was a good promo. This sets up the Priest versus Braun match though. And this was a pretty quick match. This was impressive too because Priest doing a fucking South of Heaven on Braun, it was fucking wild. Like,
yeah, it was
the man has power.
It was another big guy versus big guy match, similar to the Bronson Sheamus, but I mean, but they were actually like really, bigger guys. But it was good, and again, you can tell Braun Strowman's, you can tell his knees a little jank right now.
And they were playing off of that in the match,
yeah. And he's still been like he still performed well, and Priest didn't play like it was essentially looked like two baby faces because like Priest didn't do anything heelish. I mean, he hasn't done anything heelish in a match in months anyway. So, but it was a good match. And he finally got rid of the Strowman problem because that was the whole thing. So Strowman's been bugging him for months.
It took this man like 8 weeks to realize I gotta be the one to take out goddamn Braun Strowman. JD, you get him. No, next week again, JD get a rematch. Not Dom, you get him. It's like you keep sending the smallest niggas for the Giants. Like, this is not gonna work. Finally, the leader gets some goddamn sense and like, you know what? I'll take care of this shit since y'all can't do this.
No. Let's see. The next big thing. We get. I mean, there was a woman match earlier. We'll get another woman match here. They're establishing the new trio. Still don't have a name for them yet, but the Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe. They're further establishing them, making them look strong, which is cool. Then the next big thing is that we get Adam Pearce brings out Drew based off of last week where Punk asked Priest to like please end the suspension, yada yada. So yeah, Priest brings out Drew. They have a good talk, sort of, but Priest wants him to apologize to the referees, and he absolutely refuses to do that.
I agree. No, you can't do your goddamn job. I'm not apologizing. Fuck you. Fuck them refs. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I like this angle.
You did.
It's Drew like unhinged. Like we're getting the Drew sounds crazy. Drew after dark. He's not playing ball by anybody's rules, and rightfully so. Which is like, if he's gonna be this unhinged, the match with Punk has to be something like physical. It has to be cage. It can't just be no regular 1-on-1, or if it is like 1-on-1 no DQs or some shit like that. It has to be unhinged. These two men hate each other so much.
I think. I mean, if Punk can't get fully cleared, I think they should do like an unsanctioned match. But I didn't dislike this. I was a little confused by it because to me, Drew, I wouldn't say he's full. Like he's not really unhinged right now because like when he first comes out, he's like he's not shaking hands and kissing babies, but he's high fiving people in the crowd. Like he's coming off as a face. And then when the conversation goes down and he gets upset, that's when we start to get like, it's like, no, fuck this. You're a bad boss. Fuck these guys in the shirt. So it's like, I mean, and then like he like pushes the refs or whatever. Pierce says he's still suspended, and then Seth comes out for the save, which further confuses me because it's like we talked about the possibility of a triple threat. It looks like they're still not trying to really do that. And now the rumor is that Seth might be the special guest referee, which, like, that's the reverse of what happened 4 or 3 months ago when it was the Mania match, because we thought it was rumored that Punk might be the referee. So it's really it's interesting to see how this is playing out. I'm kind of confused. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little confused, though, like, because Drew, he has his reason to be upset, but he's also an asshole.
Right.
Like, and a lot of the stuff that there's, like how Punk was saying the week prior, like, your consequences of action. And then Punk has his consequences of action, which is what Seth told Punk last week. And again, I'm of the belief like this feud. We've been waiting for this match for so long. The first match has to be 1v1. We've been waiting for it for too long to just add another person into it. But this other person is still orbiting around both these characters. And based off of what we just saw with like Seth like fighting Drew off because he was beating up refs. I'm like, I don't know. We got 2 weeks.
I am confused as well.
Yeah,
and my confusion lies with like what's Seth's like reason against Drew right now. Like Drew was just trying to have a match against Seth, right? That was just what it was supposed to be. Why are you coming out to save Pierce from Drew? Like
I get you could argue like Drew cashing in on his match would make Seth upset because like now you cashing in, made it a triple threat, and when you could have just waited till I won and then you could cash in. I guess you could. I guess Seth, like if I'm from Seth's point of view, I guess you could say that, but even then, I'm still having a disconnect personally. Like
I would have had the security come out and like escort Drew out, like because having Seth come out without any like real reason behind it was just a little bit confusing. But they'll probably tie it in sometime, next week.
I mean, at the end of the day, it was a babyface like saving the day, like saving his saving Pierce, which is fine. But I'm as a stan of Seth, I'm having a little disconnect. It just feels like they want him to do something, they just don't know what to do with him. So he's like in a limbo to where he's orbiting around these 3 people or these other 2 people because we know we're getting the Seth Punk shit. But so I don't know.
Yeah,
but that was a thing though. It was a thing. And then after that, we
get the Eric Rowan.
Oh yes, man. Okay, you go first.
Another tape was delivered.
This one was delivered to the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, it was delivered to the Pat McAfee show. Yeah. And this tape unveils Eric Rowan. And for those who don't know, Eric Rowan was part of the Bludgeoning Brothers. So that was him and Brody. He was also part of the Wyatt family, which was him, Brody, Bray, and sometimes Randy Orton.
And Daniel Bryan for a little bit also.
Daniel Bryan too. Yeah. And this was a very emotional one because he starts off like, he used to have a family, we were unstoppable, inseparable. He said lost a brother when he had everything going for him. And then he lost another brother. He said, no more family, no more will. He said, I'm numb to everything and numb to the world. And for me, I was like, I love this. Like we got Eric Rowan, a character, not a character tied to the Wyatt family, not a character tied to the Bludgeoning Brothers, but just individually something to care about for Eric Rowan.
To cut you, sorry. That's the thing is, I think that the thing that I think that makes this so good is that I don't like. I think it was more of him really. Like
exactly.
It's giving us the quote unquote character, but like everything that was. Like these promos thus far, like there's that one Bo with Bo Dallas, and this one, like it feels like they're really talking to us about like what they legitimately felt. They're basing it off of their character, but like there's the line where Rowan says like, "And who's gonna care about me? I'm only Rowan," and that like to me like that's like it came off so organically. Like it seems like you could. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a real thought that he had, like once he got released, and
no, absolutely.
All like I bet he like literally said that to himself in the mirror or to his spouse or whatever. Like, and it just makes it so real, and it's like fuck, man. It's
like
so good.
You definitely feel, and I honestly respect the fact that it went from Bo to Eric because that's how it should be. If anybody was just as affected, it would have been, Eric Rowan, like he was part of like these factions. And yeah, I loved it, man. Like I loved everything about this. I hope they continue. We are getting what I asked for, which was, tapes for every character. The similarity or not similarity, but the common concept is that these are characters that were the forgotten, the misused, the we don't know what to do with you kind of thing. Maybe even potentially on the verge of being, released or cut. Like these are those kind of characters. So they're coming from a different place. And I like it. I like it a lot.
Shit, 2 of them did get released.
Right.
Bo and Rowan were both released at some point. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was good shit. And yeah, hopefully they do carry it on with every character. Because I'm interested in this, like, I saw someone make a tweet thread about like how everyone's connected, like how everyone has someone or family that left them. Like Joe Gacy, he was part of Schism. The two people in Schism, Grizzled Young Veterans, they left. You know, Nikki, she had Insanity. They
which
left,
was not used properly. Such a dope stable.
Yeah, and then Alexa technically, turned on her too.
True.
And then, I mean, Dexter is the only one to me that's the odd one out, because to me, he didn't get abandoned. He's the one that left. Like, he was on Raw because he was doing those, like, it was when JBL was with Baron Corbin. Like, he was drawing pictures with Johnny Gargano. He was doing all this stuff, and then he, like, disappeared because he started filming that firefighter show that was on TBS, or not TBS, True TV. And then, yeah, he just disappeared. So he's the only one that, to me, that's odd, the odd one out. And also, he doesn't ever talk. So I'm like curious to see if he does talk in this new shit. But yeah, I really hope that we do get all these versions of them talking and giving us backstory, so that we can have some emotional connection with these characters and actually like them, and not just because they look cool, but actually like them for a legitimate reason other than them looking cool and doing magical shit.
And this also ties to the Chad promo later on the day, or later on, like in the show, where like Chad is, calling out Bo Dallas because he figured out who Uncle Howdy is, and he's like, I know exactly who it is, and everybody's like, yes, bro, we all know who it is.
Yeah,
there's no secret. He calls out Bo. Bo comes down to the stage, or coming down to the ring. As he's coming down, he gets jumped by the Creed brothers. Mm-hmm. So we got what we asked for here. So we got Chad and like the Creed brothers and whatnot. But the chaotic part was while Bo was getting jumped, the man is laughing.
Yes,
like
this is
Batman
where
and Joker laughing.
Yeah, and I do like this segment, but the laughing part, which I do understand, that is where I'm not going to say I'm drawing the line, but that's where I don't, because, and we talked about this before. Like, the problem with the Fiend was that he was pretty much damn near invulnerable.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, this is a wrestling show, and these are all wrestlers. So that, like, even though there's different power rankings, even though, like, a Brock Lesnar is stronger than, like, a Cedric Alexander or some shit, like, even though there's different levels to this shit, like, having a character that legitimately can't be hurt it destroys the opposition, which is what happened to fucking Seth, because Seth hit the Fiend with, like, 13 curb stomps, and nothing happened. Then it like killed his character. So you like these magic so I'm hoping, like, it seems like they're keeping them as alter egos because we saw normal Bo or whatever. But like, yeah, at the end of the day, like, these characters need there has to be some weeks where they take L's. There has to be some weeks where you see them take damage. They can't be Jason Voorhees like how the Fiend was. Because then we're going to get lost in the plot again, and you have the chance to kill characters. And so, like, him doing the Joker laugh kind of is like, I feel like they're almost teetering on that part, but at the same time, I kind of get it, because it's like he's crazier now, so like it's a new characteristic. But it's at the same time, being a wrestling fan who's been watching this shit for a while, in the back of my mind, it's like, this is also Bo Dallas. This was the nigga.
Right.
This was the nigga who's saying Bo leave and running around the ring, and now he's like taking damage from the Creed brothers, who are fucking. They're essentially different versions of Braun Breaker, and he's just laughing through it. But it's Joker-esque, and it's one of those things. I'm gonna let it play out. I just don't want them to teeter in that line of being invulnerable, because it's a wrestling show, and that's kind of what fucked up everyone. The Fiend fought was that he's just tanking everything. Like,
he was definitely taking everything.
You can't fight. You can't have a wrestling character, like, even Undertaker takes L's. Like, it wasn't at WrestleMania until one person, but even Undertaker would lose. Like, he took damage. Like, there will be moments where he'll do the rise, and even Sting. Like, there'll be moments where Sting will no sell a table spot, but there's other moments where you see Sting sell and take damage. So it's like they just can't be invulnerable. They can't have that fucking buffer on them. Like, this whole thing.
When you say it like that, I do agree, because you're right. The Stings, the Canes, the Undertaker's like when they are in the supernatural realm, like they're supernatural characters, but they did take damage. They did lose. They lost clean sometimes too.
Yeah.
I will say it's still early.
Yeah.
We will let it play out because you do have to build them up because they just like debuted maybe 3 weeks ago. So you got to keep them in motion. So I'm gonna put them in the same boat that I got Jacob Fatu in right now, which is like y'all is just unbeatable right now because of the situation. Eventually this boat is gonna have to let y'all off the unbeatable boat so y'all can be with everybody else. But right now, y'all just the invulnerable ones for storyline purposes, and I'm okay with that.
I like to call it the 6th Power Ranger fallacy. You know when the 6th Power Ranger always shows up, they're OP for like the first 5 episodes. And then all of a sudden they get like their power levels get scaled back down to where they're only a little bit now for whatever reason they're not as strong as the Red Ranger because it's always going to be the Red Ranger. So it's like that's kind of what Fatu is, and that's kind of what like. But at some point, the power scales need to go back down.
They're going to balance out.
They need to get debuffed a little bit because you can't. Because when the Green Ranger first showed up, OP as fuck. Old
Ranger shows up.
That 6th Ranger, they show up. Those first 5 episodes, they can't be touched. And then all of a sudden, they get in their ass whooped like everybody else.
You're right.
Yeah, we just need. Yeah. So yeah,
we're gonna let them have their 6th Ranger moment, but they better come back down. That's like I said, that's the only thing that happened with the Fiends that he did not come back down.
Yeah, no, like he rarely came back down. And when it was for like a Goldberg.
Hell, bro. And that's the part that pisses me off because it's like when he was supposed to come back down, he came back down and lost to people that he should not have lost to. Like the Goldberg one literally pissed me off. I get it because I want to do the whole Saudi show and shit like that, but like you got to balance it out and have them lose to the right individuals to make this shit all like work, Yeah. But back to the show.
Yeah.
We get Sammy versus Ilya. Or actually, my bad. The Wyatt Six does appear, and they do take a dope photo in the middle of the ring.
They do take a dope photo, and it's very similar to the old school Wyatt family photo where like Wyatt, Bray's on his knees and the others are like standing behind him. Good shit. He was laughing the whole way through. Very Heath Ledger Joker-esque, or just Joker in general. That's any Joker character you feel. Honestly, this should have ended the show. This main event is really good. It's probably like 10 minutes, but we kind of knew how it was going to end, and I feel like this would have been a better ending to the show.
Yeah. Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
Sammy versus Ilya.
Yeah.
Cooking, fucking hibachi grill, cooking this shit, bro. And then I wanted to see this match longer. I wanted to see it fleshed out. I didn't want to see it with the Braun Breaker thread. I understand why Braun's here. I understand why the match ended the way it ended. But the way these motherfuckers was wrestling, peak. It's kind of like they tease you. Like this is like we can give you this match. If, we still got it over here. We can pull it out whenever. But you're not ready for it. You just playing with it. Like give me this shit, bro. Like I want this goddamn match.
Ask a pause for like at least a couple.
Pause.
I can pull it up, but I'm gonna make you wait.
I'm gonna make you wait for it.
But to be mature for a second, no, you're absolutely you're absolutely correct. Like that's like it's one of those. Yeah, it was literally just a teaser, a little sample. It's like we can go at 30. I'm honestly I'm sure most wrestlers can do an hour. They shouldn't. No one should. We'll talk about that in AEW. But it was just a little 10-minute match. It was like. And it was a good 10-minute match.
Good.
It was really good. It is like
good as fuck.
But if you want that 15 to 20, you gotta buy the subscription. No,
man, we're gonna put this on a pay-per-view. Like fuck, bro. Goddamn, we got the 2 motherfuckers right here. Let them go. Even if it's a clean win for Sammy, and then you do the Braun shit afterwards, I'm okay with that. But it's just the way that like the interference happens in these good ass matches that be pissing me off.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But yeah, Braun Breaker comes out. I forgot who he hit for. What he speared Ilya first, or he comes out. He destroys both of them. I don't even know if I wrote it down. No. He comes out and he spears Ilya first, and then show ends with Breaker standing tall and the crowd barking. The show ends with the crowd barking.
That's it.
I'm telling you, yeah, they need to change the song again and just add barking noises. Is that a Spitz?
Yeah. Overall, very entertaining episode of Raw. There was like just threads, more story threads than like actual like matches, but these threads are important. It's SummerSlam time. We got to let you know what these storylines are before we give you these matches at this PLE. So completely understandable.
Yeah, the next two shows will probably be a little hotter. Not that this was a boring show. There was good matches, yeah, and good story stuff. But the next 2 weeks will probably be a little hotter since we're
absolutely, especially because it's SummerSlam. You got to start cooking shit up.
Yeah,
like fuck yeah. But next up is AEW Dynamite. We're gonna go to a quick little break, real quick, and then when we get back, we'll talk about the opening for that show because that shit was great to me. We'll be right back
than
after
a whole pod.
this break. We'll be right back out. And we're back, people. AEW Dynamite kicks off with a 60-minute opening match between MJF and Will Ospreay. I'm gonna just say it like this. First off, I think they were in Little Rock, and they were talking. They started off talking about how hot it was in that goddamn arena, and you could see it with like instantaneously, like the way like these motherfuckers wrestling. That it was hot as fuck in there.
Yeah, they ain't got no AC in that for whatever reason, I guess.
Bro, it was fucking crazy. The match itself was fucking amazing. I thought it was a great match. It was one of those matches where it didn't feel like 60 minutes because like they kept the pace up. There's some dope spots in here where there's like back suplexes reversed into like a stunner, torture rack spin out powerbomb from like Will Ospreay. One of my favorite moments of this match was the little girl in the crowd getting like to being in action, and like she ends up like chopping like MJF a couple times, and it was just the reaction of the little girl that made it so fucking dope. Because as a kid, that's what you want. You want to be inside the match. You didn't expect these motherfuckers to climb up the goddamn crowd, and you get to like actually have that moment. So that was really dope to me. Best parts of the match are probably the last like 15 minutes. Last 10 to 15 minutes of the match where shit really starts to pick up.
That's usually how hour-long matches start or go.
For
the most part.
The
last 15, 20
They
minutes.
was pulling out all their best shit that last 15 minutes. It was fucking insane. Just quick notes, like I said, like this is probably gonna be one of those matches that they mention like the AEW like history books when they talk about AEWs. You're gonna find this to be somebody's favorite match of all time.
People were already saying that
in AEW.
Yeah, people already said best. I don't even honestly, bro. It might not be top 5. I'll keep it a buck.
In AEW, you're not wrong.
And I'm saying strictly AEW. I don't know.
You're not wrong, bro.
Because Kenny
Daniels,
that shit was honestly both of the Daniel Hangman matches were fire. Fucking, I'll say MJF, CM Punk, the dog collar. You could do Britt and Rosa,
like Ospreay, Britt Rosa. Like you're right. Like
I'm not, and that's not to belittle the match. It's just one of those things where people just be living in the hype of the moment. It's like everything's the greatest thing as soon as you see it. It's like sometimes
it's a good match.
It's for sure. Like I'll say it's a good match. It ain't my cup of tea, and the reason why it's not is just the due to like it. One, it didn't need to be an hour. I disagree with the pacing part, and the reason I disagree with the pacing part was because it's an hour on a TV show. Like if this was a pay-per-view, the pace like it would have been different. Like we're sitting through commercials, multiple commercials. So to me it feels like an hour because I'm sitting through all that shit.
That's true. And you're right, because I don't watch it like that. I can skip through the commercials when I watch it, so it felt like it was better for me. But like you are absolutely right with it.
Right. Yeah, but for me, it was the lack of psychology, in-ring psychology. Like there's moments where Ospreay was supposed to sell his knee, he was supposed to sell his shoulder, he's supposed to also sell his ribs, and then there's moments where it's like he's doing a stalling tiger driver or some shit, and it's like, what happened to your knee? What happened to all these parts that were supposed to be injured? So it's for me, the lack of that and the lack of selling. And honestly, it's just, all right, I know someone's about to lose a bet. I'm sorry. So get your shot ready right now. This match didn't need to happen. I said it. This match didn't need to happen. And we knew it was going to happen. Honestly, there is the crowd sales haven't been the greatest. The ratings they've been back and forth. So and it's a 250 show. I totally understand all that, but we could have gotten the same effect. Like we could have gotten the same effect from a 30-minute match. We can
true.
You could argue that it could have ended in a draw. That would have pissed people off. But also, absolutely, why the fuck is Ospreay losing twice in 1 month? Back to back big matches. He shouldn't have lost. So this match shouldn't have happened, or just have him beat MJF. Also,
yeah. So I have negatives for the match too. You're going to open up my negative. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, yeah, and then okay, no, you go because all right, no, and then I'll piggyback off you again. But well, shit, yeah. I feel like you could have gotten the same effect in a 30-minute match, especially because it was the hour match, which they don't for example, the Brian Kinney one, or I think it was either the Brian Kinney one or the Brian Heyman one that ended in a draw. Mm-hmm. That was a 30-minute match, and it was amazing. And that's not to discredit the workers. It's dope that they can work that long, and it's dope that they performed and did some cool shit. But again, you could have got the same effect. We could have got another women's match. We could have got something else. Blood and Guts is literally next week, and this was the 250th episode. And this first hour is the only part of the show that feels like it's the 250th episode. Everything else just feels like a regular shit that we would see on any Collision or any Wednesday. So honestly, this match probably should have ended the show. To be honest, that's a whole other point, because having Okada and Swerve try to fucking work after all the fans just saw that shit, no, there's nothing you could do at that point. There's nothing. There's especially because no shade to Okada, he's not the same Okada that he was in New Japan. You have to compete with that. That should have just ended the show, especially with the way that it ends. Which, spoiler, title change. That should have ended the show probably. It didn't need to be long. There was another point I had, but I'll let you go. I'll probably remember it.
So what I will say. There's a couple dope parts before I get to the negatives. The MJF ended the match with the oxygen mask, and then as he's taking the oxygen mask back and forth off his face, he's like, Ospreay, easy dub. And I'm like, that's fucking hilarious that even in defeat where he's taking an oxygen mask to the face, he's like, nah, he didn't get the best of me at all. The man looked like he's about to fucking die. It was fucking crazy. I understand the setup though. So with this match, you're like, why is this happening? You're right. It shouldn't have happened, but I understand that the storyline that they're telling here is MJF Garcia. Garcia needs a big bad, and the big bad is MJF. And if this pans out correctly, you have Garcia going over MJF, which will, if done right, will push Garcia up into a different tier, which is what they want to do, is create another star or a mid-level star. You need another mid-card star.
Right. I heard he was injured, and that we might not see him.
He is, and that's my next part, is that if he's injured, and I want him to come back, maybe either at All Out or post All Out to kind of tie to do the story. If he comes back all in, fucks with MJF, it kills the fucking build for me. If Garcia is out, he needs to be out for a while. Let MJF do his thing with his title, and then you get Garcia to at another Dynamite or something like that. That's how I would like to see it play out, so that we can have some kind of animosity, or not animosity, but just tension when we do see Garcia. Negatives is that the whole Ospreay doing the hesitancy on the Tiger Driver, it's just done. And I say that with another half-ass reason behind it, but because Daniel's out here moving around. Daniel out here having fucking matches with Hangman Page and beating everybody in the Owen Cup. But the reason why you're not supposed to be doing the moves because you really hurt this man, but the man that you supposedly have hurt is out here winning like tournaments. So
nigga showed back up not the next week, but the week after.
The week after,
it's right? Wrestling.
The only thing I can give them a little like leeway with this is that Daniel has been playing off of that injury forever. For like this past since Dynasty, he's been using the injury to his neck. He's just been beating motherfuckers while he's had this injury. So I don't know if Daniel's last run is a whole bunch of plot armor because he is about to go out. But he is showing signs of that injury being there. But as far as like Will trying to like be hesitant with it, I'd rather him just not do the move or attempt to do the move rather than like give us that moment where he's like, I don't want to do it. Like, just don't do it.
Especially because you're not with the faction anymore. So it's like, who's baiting you to do it? At this point?
Exactly.
Who's asking you to?
Like, yeah.
Okay. Another thing for me, which was why are we doing this? This shouldn't have happened. Is just like, and I know Tony Khan, he loves the dream matches. I understand that, and you could argue. I mean, honestly, you can't even argue. It's a fact. Sometimes he rushes these dream matches. Like everyone thought this might have been the Wembley match, or or even like there was a lot of speculation on what the Wembley stuff would be, and we're all wrong because everything that we thought would happen at Wembley is already happened.
It's happened early.
It's already happened now.
I don't know what the card's
and
gonna
it's
be.
like it's like I have no idea. Like, and honestly, like if you think about the landscape of wrestling right now, like we don't know everyone's contract status, but as of right now, in the male talent, there is no big name that Tony Khan can sign right now that's going to be like crazy. Like Drew already resigned now, Finn resigned, Seth resigned, like Roman's not leaving. Like there's no big name. Like so like bro, you blew pretty much all your big like there's really no more big matches AEW can have anymore. They've done them all. We can get 2s and 3s, but like we've already gotten all the big matches. It's like you blew your load. He Spider-Man'd his pants already. What the fuck is going to happen now? And also, like, when we do get Ospreay MJF 2, what the fuck are they going to do? We've seen them do, like, besides weapons, we seen style clashes. We saw Crossroads, and we saw everything else that we saw, like 3 hidden blades or sling blades or whatever. Or no, yeah, hidden blades. Like, what the fuck else? Like, what are they going to do when they fight again? And it it ain't going to be another hour. I mean, unless they go for an hour or 5, okay. Like, what are they like? It's just, and like, I'm not asking you or the audience to answer this question. It's just one of those like things like you didn't have to do it this way. You could have worked up to this like. But again, I understand it. Like the crowd sales, ratings, blah blah blah. But again, this was Little Rock. Like, this was Little Rock fucking Arkansas, bro. Like, in a crowd of like 1,500, and you put on one of the best, like you put on a match of the year candidate in front of like 1,500 people in Little Rock, Arkansas, when you got your WrestleMania coming up very soon. What the fuck?
Okay, so it's funny because like going off of like just the Indian Raw, where like I'm like just give it to us, and coming to AEW is like just hold off. They should probably learn a little bit from each other, just a little bit, and just you take the angle that they took where don't finish the match, maybe it's interference, but you take the angle where like just give us the goddamn match.
There has to be a happy medium between Triple H's like super long term shit and TK's let's do it immediately. There has to be fucking happy. There has to be a happy medium somewhere.
So yeah, I do agree with that. I will say there's a couple dream matches that are still out there. Off the top of my head, I don't know if they've happened. I have to go back and really check. But like potentially Kenny coming back, Kenny Swerve has never happened before. Like I want to see something like that. We haven't got Jay White, Will Ospreay in AEW. We haven't got like those versions of the AEW matches of like Kenny Okada and shit like that. Although Kenny and Okada have already fucking wrestled,
right? But but some of those to be aren't like we're going to get Ricochet. That's what's up. Ricochet, right. Ospreay, that's cool. It hasn't been done there, but you could YouTube that shit right now.
Ricochet Swerve, I'd take that too.
Which you could. I'm sure that's happened at Lucha Underground, and that's not NXT. To say
it probably happened in NXT.
It probably happened in NXT too, and that's not to say it's not going to be good. But I wouldn't classify that as a dream match. Like a dream match was Kenny and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. That was a dream match, And they did that shit the first fucking week that nigga showed up. Damn,
he could not wait to get that on TV.
So that's what I meant. It's like there's no more big free. Like there's not much.
Mox, Ospreay. It's not a dream match, but it's a good match. You're right. As far as like upper match. Echelon and they dream did that, matches,
right? And they did that since AEW because when Mox had the IWGP US champion, they had that match like 2-3 times already in the last 5 years.
You're right.
There just has to be a happy medium. Right now it's like you blew all your big matches now to me, or at least, I mean, not even just to me. Like I've heard other people say similar things, but it's like, yeah, man, it's like, I mean, and now like your biggest goose, Ospreay, you just beat him twice in the same month. He looks dumb as shit. Now,
respectfully, I think he's pulling the. And I say this loosely, don't take this like verbatim, but I think he's pulling the Seth role to where like he's the guy that you can have take these L's to build up moments because you know he's going to be fine. Like you said, there's the moment where Seth was losing every fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
But in turn of him doing that, he was building up a lot of motherfuckers. And I think that's kind of where they're going with the Ospreay angle to where he's losing, but you put MJF in a position where like he's going to brag about being Will Ospreay. He has the belt. It was a match that was fucking great. That was on 250 at Dynamite. He put Swerve into a situation where Swerve is looking fucking elite right now. Like as far as like his in-ring ability and his confidence level. So he's just putting people over. As far as what he does next, I have no fucking idea. But he is serving his purpose. He's doing things that like you wanted like Edge to do with Malachi. He's doing things that you want Jericho to do, although Jericho does do it, but not good enough.
Right. Well, the difference between those people though, they're veterans. Ospreay,
right?
Like yeah, Seth can lose a match and it's not going to kill him. I mean, besides the Fiend stuff, like Miz is one of those people where he could lose 80 matches in a row, but he'll win that match and it'll be fine. But
right.
There's wrestlers like that in every company. But Ospreay, I mean, at least the difference with him is that he's one of the biggest signings ever.
He just got here.
He literally just got here. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying he should have a Goldberg streak. I don't think anyone should have a streak. It's just like if you're going to make him lose, like I wouldn't have done it back to back. It's just the same month. I don't know. It's just and part of it, honestly, it might even be his decision based off of what we know about the Swerve match. But if that's the case, it has to be one of those conversations like how we talked about. Like sometimes you got to tell a wrestler no. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You want to be picked through 3 cars on fire? No, nigga, no. Like, I don't know.
And to be fair, he didn't win. MJF didn't win clean this match. He towards the end of the match, they do the referee gets knocked out or bumped or whatever, and he uses the ring to like knock him out. And that's how he seals the win. So there is implication that like you didn't beat me clean. We can run this back. No ring involved or whatever kind of thing. It still ties into MJF being dirty and that he couldn't beat him like clean and fair. So there is still some like the story stuff that you can play with or morality stuff that you can play with that. Before you get too deep into that, there was post or after this match, we have like, a promo with like the Acclaimed and Briscoe where the Acclaimers, giving out their perspective or reasoning as to why they should be the team and for Blood and Guts next week. Briscoe does something I haven't seen done in a while, which is like, hey, I like what you guys are pitching, but I'm not the one to give you the answers. And it pans to Swerve, and Swerve is the one who is giving the okay on who's joining the team and whatnot, which I respect, because now that looks like your champion is the guy who's running the show for this team, which is how it should be. Acclaim ends up joining, so now we have Swerve, Briscoe, Acclaimed, and spoiler alert, Darby Allin, which I would assume to be that's the last member of that team.
I mean, he came out last week. I ain't even spoiler. We knew that crazy bastard was back. You can't kill him.
We got a learning tree promotion for the seeds, the saplings, and the roots.
Brother,
it just sets up Blood and Guts.
Is that real, or did you just say that?
Oh, they opened up with that shit. I was crying. The seeds, the saplings, and the roots, and the branches.
it's low key kind of good, man. But it's
gas, bro.
It's still Jericho. I can't give it to him. You get a half a point. He gets a half a point for that because it is good. It is. If it was anybody else, I'd eat it up. If the Miz did that, I'd eat that shit up. But
oh fuck, bro!
I
can't. Yeah, yeah. So it's we get the thread that was happening during the Forbidden Door week, where Minoru Suzuki cashes in on his championship match with Jericho next week. No Bandit Keith, and no Big Bill is able to be at the ring next week. So
for a title that doesn't mean shit. It's not even an official AEW. This shit. No, oh God, I'm choking on my own rage here. Shout out to anybody who gets that reference. Simpsons. This shit is ridiculous. He's gonna cash in on something that doesn't. It's not even it's a prop. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yes, nigga, we all know.
I'm gonna get upset.
So we get Blood and Guts next week. Jericho versus Minoru Suzuki. We get an Elite promo. Looks like Mercedes is itching her way towards being inside the Elite, which I'm down for. Like, if Mercedes wants to join the Elite, I think that's great.
She needs to be the CEO of something. That's the thing. That's the thing, though. What is? Sorry, Stans. What the fuck is her character? Her character is literally the same as the boss. The only difference is between Mercedes and Sasha Banks is that apparently she's a CEO of something. But what the fuck is she the CEO of? See, at least with the boss, it's in the word boss is like deep in hip hop culture or just pop culture in general. Like, anyone could be like, "Oh, I'm a boss. Oh, you're such a boss for that." What the fuck are you the CEO of? Anyway,
right. I would expect she needs to get some kind of team behind her. So she needs to be a CEO of something.
Just flesh out the character, because like now she's full heel, which is good. I mean, she should have been a full heel. She should have been a full heel from the get go.
But
especially
the thing is, fuck, we're only 2 months into her character, so like they'll figure something out.
No, she's been here since March 4th. We're 2 months into her wrestling, but she has been here since March.
True. And what I'll say, like, because even for her to be here since March, there wasn't even a lot of like character then. It was just more so hype, and then we're gonna keep showing her to where now we got to get into like the character of what the hell she's doing. So yes, you are right. So even then, we're only 4 months in, so you can figure something out.
4 months is enough time to make a character. She's out there making sex sounds, getting beat up in the locker room. She's doing that damn dance.
They're gonna figure it. Hopefully they'll figure it out. I think they should find like a team or like maybe like a manager or somebody for her.
And saying all my rage, she did have a good match tonight when we get to it, when we talk about it, whenever you want to talk, or whatever's next.
Yeah,
I don't know what's next on.
Funny thing is, it's actually next.
Okay.
So we get Nyla Rose versus Mercedes Moné for the TBS championship. Since you got it, or you have like thoughts, what do you got?
I don't have too many thoughts. I just thought it was a really good match. Nyla Rose, someone who was on this show consistently, but now is in ROH Shadow Realm. No idea why. Nyla Rose should be on this fucking show. But yeah, I thought it was a good match because AEW doesn't have a lot of big women to do that, like to play the big role, such as like a Nia Jax, whatever. Like there's Nyla Rose, and then I think Willow's like the other. Is the other biggest person, but she's not even that big like that. So seeing like her playing, not wrestling up to this person, but like just the difference between the styles in the heights, like it works well. Like anytime Mercedes fought Nia, like it was like the way those styles and the height difference and the weight difference, like it plays off really well. So it was a really good match, and like she was actually being full heel. Yeah, it was a good match. Honestly, I think it was the best match of that show. I'll say that.
Ooh.
That's how much I did. That's how much anger the fucking hour-long shit made me. But yeah, man, no, I think it was a good match. And Nyla, man, this women's we are a couple weeks away from that 6 month clause I gave this women's division once they signed Mercedes, and there has not been any change. Like Tony Khan still has now. Deanna Praza, she was on the show every week. Now she's back in ROH. She's in the ROH Shadow Room.
No. Shadow Room. Deanna's on Collision. Deanna's doing her shit on Collision, so she's definitely a Collision mainstay.
My bad.
She's not in ROH. She's on Collision.
This Saturday show.
They doing lumberjack matches tonight.
Okay. It's hard to say you have the best women's wrestling division. Like even if I wanted to believe that, you're not showcasing a lot of your best talent. A lot of your best women workers are not on your main show. We have Tony, Mariah, Mercedes, and Britt now. So those are like the four mains, and then like everyone else just like kind of like hops in for a hot second. Like Saraya will show up for like a week and then disappear. Then you'll have Nyla come out to do a job to somebody, or you'll have Sheeta come back for like a month. I don't know. There just needs to be consistency with the women.
It's not that they're not being used. It's the fact that like they're not being used on Dynamite. So there just needs to be more like overlap where like, okay, maybe this week Mercedes, you take the Collision spot. This week you do the fucking Dynamite spot. We need to have people swapping in and out for like maybe every other week or maybe every 2 weeks or some shit like that.
Mercedes ain't working.
Mercedes will never be on Collision. She will never be on Collision. But it was an example.
You know, I understand.
She will never be on Collision. But like we just need them to pop back in and out and just create those like feuds and storylines and threads and shit like that. Because they are being used. It's just that you have to watch Collision in order to see these women wrestle. As far as this Nyla and Mercedes match, I thought the match was dope too. She pulls out like this cat-like CEO glove and goes for like this lockjaw submission. And the funniest shit is that I've never seen anybody bite somebody's fingers to get out of a submission hold. Like, you would think that, like, okay, well, you know, Mankind's doing the mandible claws. Like, why doesn't this motherfucker just bite down on his goddamn hand? Like, it's never happened to me. But
it's because
to see Nyla do it.
It's because he's touching that dangly thing in the back of your throat. You know what Cardi said. Come on now.
To see Nyla bite her hand and then Mercedes just screaming in horror, like, who the fuck bites somebody's hand in a submission hold? It was funny. Overall, dope fucking match. Mercedes wins with the statement maker, following a series of fucking head smashes to the mat. We then get a Sting mask moment at the end of the match, which is just Britt Baker in the Sting mask, and just pushes the story even forward even more.
Okay, I have a problem with this part, and it's really, really obvious what that problem is. So yeah, Britt Britt has a Sting mask. She pushes Mercedes. Mercedes is like, what the fuck is going on? Britt takes off the mask. It's Britt. Why the fuck does the security tackle Mercedes first and not the fucking person who's supposed to be banned from the show? Is that not racial?
No,
Was it not saying racial to you? Because it seems like the typical thing where I call the cops, but the cops shoot me. Bitch, I called you. I called you.
So when it happened, I was like, maybe just perception of how I seen it. 'Cause I seen it just like you. I was like, why are they tackling her first? And then they eventually turn their backs towards Mercedes and tries to hold out Britt. But the initial like version of it was like them going after Mercedes, like she was the goddamn
criminal. They went after the black
Mercedes.
Person. They saw a white woman in danger, and they tackled Mercedes first. I know they ain't Little Rock, but goddamn, Bill Clinton's from Little Rock too, and I could have sworn he loved niggas. But all right, I got you, Arkansas. I ain't never going there.
It was interesting. That shit was fucking funny. I was like, why are they tackling her? But they turned around the last minute. It was definitely confusing.
Someone did, I don't think they got.
Somebody didn't get the memo.
Like, I don't think
that
they got
shit was funny.
The communication. Please tackle the white person.
The one the fan who's climbing over the and maybe it could have been perception. Maybe it was different from like while you were there in person, but watching it on TV, that's what I saw too.
It was a fan attacking the wrestler, and they tackled the wrestler first. I'm screaming racial injustice.
They pulled out the Peter Griffin Family Guy card, where it's like the white, pale, black.
This one's the threat right here. Yeah,
right here.
She has the threat skin tone.
Fuck, that's funny. Next up, we get the Mariah May promo. She comes out dressed.
Hey, Tony Schiavone, wild nigga.
Yeah, it was crazy,
bro.
She comes out dressed as Tony, and Taz says some of the funniest shit ever, bro. Excalibur says the realization is starting to hit that the fans that this is not Toni Storm, but her challenger. And Taz says it's Little Rock. It's going to take them a while. And I'm like, oh my God, this motherfucker is eating this crowd alive. And then we get the illustrious Tony Schiavone speak, bitch. I'm like, yo, what is going on? The heat in that arena had them unhinged. Yeah. Everybody in that motherfucker was tight.
It's wild for a babyface commentator to be like, "Speak, bitch," and the way he said it, it was like he was waiting for you. Like he was ready to fucking go. He's like, "Yeah, it's hot. I'm ready to get the fuck out this arena." What Taz
like, whoa.
Taz's comment isn't too far off. I would say though, like there was like it wasn't just the live crowd. There was confusion online too, like because Mariah May looks like Toni. She looked really like she looked so similar to where like it was really confusing actually. Like it was like the fact that Taz had to say that, I want to say it's I don't want to say it was a fail, maybe a slight fumble. The fact that the announcer has to state that because it should have, like, usually when a wrestler impersonates another wrestler, it's relatively you can spot it relatively quick. And this one taking like 5 minutes for the online crowd and the live crowd to be like, wait, that's not fucking Tony. Like, what? That's not Tony. And then, like, that's a good
doppelganger.
It was
amazing.
It was amazing, but it was also like I don't know if the announcer. It should have just been a little more obvious, I guess, so that the announcer shouldn't have to force feed us that information. Because like. I didn't watch the show live. I only saw the clip, and I only saw the clip of Shivani saying "Speak, bitch," and like she looks so much like Tony. I'm like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Why did Tony I thought Tony Shivani switched up on Tony time. I'm like, what? And I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm like, oh, that's Mariah fucking May. I was like, okay, all right. Well, like it took me like it wasn't just the live. It wasn't just Little Rock, and Little Rock is slow. I'll agree with it, but. I saw the internet community was like they were like for a minute they were confused too because like I mean you can like there was good. It was really subtle, like she was walking a little weird, like just a tad, but after the attack last week you could just say, oh, it was based on the attack last week,
okay, so maybe they should have done maybe it should have been she came out with like the blood on her face to kind of like something that, okay, this is not Tony. Tony wouldn't have the blood on her face or something just to make it look a little bit more different. But she was in pristine fucking condition. Like it was like, this looks like fucking Tony.
Yeah, she looked great.
It just sets up. It just sets up All In Mariah May versus Toni Storm. It was a pretty simple promo where she's just going after Tony. The reason of why is like why it just took her too long to like even decide to go after her. It should have been sooner or whatever. There's not a lot. There wasn't a lot going on in the promo itself. She just thinks that she can be so much more than what Tony had in store for her. And that's pretty much it. It was just like, I should have been I should have been from underneath your thumb a long time ago, basically. So yeah, we get Mariah May, Tony, All In. We had a Gun Club promo where they're not happy that they were stripped of the trios belts, which also makes no sense because
it makes zero sense.
In the trios, you should be able to like everybody's a part of the group should be able to defend with the belts. I mean,
it's a 4-person group. Why can't they Freebird? Why can't they do the Freebird rule? Because I could have sworn they've done it before.
That's what I thought too.
I'm pretty sure, maybe not this particular group, but in AEW, I'm pretty sure they did the Freebird rule shit before. It makes no sense. I would be upset if there's legit no storyline to this, then it's going to be even more confusing. And if I'm the talent, I would be upset and a little tight about it. But like just off the get go, because this happened last week. I want to say this happened last Saturday. Like this happened like as we were recording last week. But yeah, no, it just makes no sense. There's 4 niggas in the group. 3 of them can still work.
Look, I agree with you. The funny part about this, not funny part, but the best part about this promo was Colton Gunn just drops a fucking bar because they're beefing with the patriarchy, and he was like, You think the Bang Bang Gang is scared of a guy with the father fetish, a 16-year-old TikTok kid, the stepmom from Brazzers, and a lizard? Fuck out of here. Like, it's just like he was going in, and
bar him up. Yeah, no, I fucks with that.
I think it sets up their trios match on Collision, so it should happen tonight. And to be honest, I would, if with the way that they stripped them of the belts, I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriarchy like won, if they're the ones who have the trios. And to be honest, I could see it because Christian is such a good like heel and storyteller with whatever he's dealt with. It makes sense for like business wise. It doesn't make sense as far as like just ripping them of the belts. Just have the match and have them have the Gun Club lose.
Again, they choose the weirdest routes to the simplest story solutions. So you took 3 different turns, but you could just went straight.
Right, pretty much. That's all AEW, because it's like, or the same could be said for like Ospreay. It's like you could have just had him not win this battle royal for the international championship and had MJF fight Ray Phoenix, and that would have been fine for me too. Even if we didn't have to get Ospreay involved with this belt, like there was no stories with this belt.
Every single thing with Ospreay has been weird. Like he was fighting his own family. You make him win a title immediately that he didn't need to win.
Yeah.
You make him fight the world champion immediately. He did not win, and then he fights MJF, who just returned, who is for sure your biggest homegrown talent, and then he loses. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I can't predict anything at
we'll
AEW.
talk about that,
Main event is Okada versus Swerve. My takeaways from this is that since Dynasty, like I said before, Swerve has been on a different level. He's wrestling with a different intensity. He looks like the champion. He's like, you can tell the confidence of him with the belt is definitely showing in ring. He's taking being the champion very seriously. You can see it in his work. Key moments from this is that the Elite interfere, of course, because it's Swerve versus Okada, and they have the whole blood and guts thing next week. So you get Nick and Matt first, and then we get Jack Perry coming in. And then, the Team AEW. So we get the Acclaimed, and we get Mark Briscoe. And then we hear Hangman's music. And they're going to do Hangman Swerve 3 or 4 or whatever we're at right now. It's going to happen. Because the way like this was like cinematically like shot was fucking insane. The Swerve's back's turn, he hears Hangman's music play, and then like the look on his face is like, well, fuck it, I gotta put this ghost down again, kind of thing. And I get it, like it's gonna be a moneymaker. They have great fucking chemistry. I just don't want it to be the case where like we do this and Swerve loses to fucking Hangman with the belt. Like, why would you make him lose with the belt to Hangman if he's been beating Hangman without the belt? That's just how I see it.
Unless the Elite help, I wouldn't understand that. I think, honestly, he might lose to Bryan.
Okay,
would,
so do you think that, I'm just bullshitting here, but do you think that, let's say hypothetically, Swerve loses to Bryan. Bryan's champion, but Bryan gives up the belt on that Dynamite due to injury? Because Bryan's not going to do a run with the belt.
No, he's not. Like, and this is him saying that he's going to be part-time. But you could also, Roman was a part-time champion too. Like, my only thing is to me that your suggestion works. The only reason I don't like it is because, like, and we talked about it before, I'm sick of the injury storyline with him, particularly in like more specifically, particularly with him, because like that would be a la of what happened when he won the Intercontinental at Mania 2015 or whatever, and then he had to literally vacate it the next day, and then that's when he like had to retire until he finally came back in like 2019 or whatever the fuck. So you're mimicking is not the right word, because you're allowed to redo storylines. It's just like, don't do a storyline saying like, oh, I'm injured and you're vacating this title so that we garner the empathy and the sympathy of this human being, because there's people that like him more than just the wrestler. We like him because he seems like a really genuinely good guy, and we care about him we don't want him to die in the ring and all this, and just shit like that. So, like I don't like fake injury angles unless they are for like reasons like you're about to get married or whatever. Like for him to win the title just to drop it the next day, just like what happened with the Intercontinental, I wouldn't like it. And also, then like, why did you beat Swerve? Just for that
right? Exactly.
Just for that picture. I mean, it will be a good picture. Like everyone doing yes in Wembley and shit like that. That's a good moment. Like that's a good one. Like a picture you could frame and have it signed with his signature on it. But then we're gonna get another tournament.
A tournament. Yeah, I don't want the tournament. I would much rather have Swerve get it, and then maybe like Daniel holds up the belt as he's walking out of Wembley. Yeah, I understand if they did go that way, but don't do it.
I mean, which he probably wouldn't like, but yeah, just do a Roman schedule. You just like, I mean, they're not
Daniel a real one. He gonna take that wrestling shit personally. You give him the belt, and like he has to be a part-time wrestler. He's not gonna be a part-time wrestler. He's just gonna be a full-time wrestler. Like that's not what he wants.
You just gotta wrestle like once a month or once every 2 months and show up every. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't like part-time champions either. I mean, but like there's certain parts of Roman's reign where it's like it was fucking great. It's like, okay, sure, he'll be gone for a couple weeks, fine, whatever.
But Roman also has a support system. Yeah, like the bloodline to carry shit. There is no support system for Daniel.
I mean, there's the BCC, but they're just not that great.
True.
Because you got,
but you're not,
Yuta and Claudio. And I love Claudio, but I mean, and Moxley. Like, if I wanted a plumber, I'd call one.
I think it's so disrespectful, cuz. Before we end this segment, you hear the Hangman. Your Hangman comes out, and then we get the Darby Allin pop. Darby's music hits. Everybody's looking for where Darby's coming from. He's not coming out of the entrance. This man gets the Sting treatment. He's coming out the rafters. Really cool moment. Definitely got the mana, the goosebumps. Not because of Darby coming out, but just the way the crowd was popping to it. It was fucking insane. And then the show closes out with both teams having a brawl. My takeaways is that for a Dynamite episode, this is great. They're on 3 solid weeks for me. So the last 3 weeks of Dynamite have been good. For a Dynamite 250, C+, and a lot of that's tied into the 60-minute match in Nyla and Mercedes. That's pretty much it for me.
I agree with that. Because other than that, it didn't feel like a milestone show. Like it felt
regular.
That first match, which should have ended the show. But then again, they try to end it on the bloodline or blood and guts angle, but
because that's next week, that makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's like who's really that hype that the Acclaimed is in it? Like it's kind of like they are kind of underwhelming picks, and and let's just keep it a buck. Like I have an Acclaim shirt, I like the Acclaim, but like they do not have the same likeness that they had the last 2 years. They're kind of stale, and Max Caster is almost an anchor to Bowens at this point. Briscoe and Swerve are good points, and then Darby, like besides MJF, Darby is the other like favorite homegrown talent. Like he gets pops.
I definitely would have took Lucha Bros. You could have gave me Swerve, Lucha Bros, and Mark Briscoe, and I'd be like, this is about to be fucking dope.
They should have.
But Lucha's they're doing stuff in, I think.
It was just announced that Death Triangle is going to go to CML for a match.
Yep,
CMLL.
there it is. Yep.
But Pac is also supposed to fight Wembley for the title that MJF just won. So I'm curious to is that match going to actually happen in Wembley, or are they going to do that shit before? Because it seems like they might do Ospreay MJF 2 at Wembley at this point now.
I don't think it was confirmed that Pac was getting the international title shot because he was trying to find his way onto the card.
I thought that's what the Global 4-Way was for. It was the number one contender. The global Fatal 4-Way or whatever the fuck it was called was for the number one contender to fight for that title.
Whoa, you might actually be right. Hold the fuck up.
And it was supposed to be at Wembley because Pac was like, I missed it last. Like we talked about last week. He's like, how did you miss it? You live in that area. So it's like, I don't know. It's weird. It seems like they might pivot And if I'm Pac, I'm going to be tight if they pivot, because it seemed like last week it seemed like that match was supposed to happen at Wembley. The number one, that global fatal 4-way is the number one contender match for the international, whatever the fuck the name of the title is.
Future shot. I just looked at it. It's for a future shot at the international championship.
All right,
so it's not necessarily at Wembley.
Okay, that's where they put the parentheses at. All right, yeah, okay. But his promo was like, "I missed Wembley last year. I'm not going to miss it again this year."
It,
yeah. So it makes you think that that's what that's like as a fan. I don't know. All right, yeah, all right. We'll let it play out. But yeah, that was Dynamite, right?
Yeah, that's Dynamite. Now we got Smackdown. Let's jump into it. Show kicks off with the boy Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes. He praises Randy Orton. Pretty much glazes him up. He doesn't show up in a suit. He shows up to all business. He's ready for the smoke. And instead of the Bloodline, he gets Grayson and Austin Theory, and they're pretty much like, man. Well, Waller's like, my boy wouldn't have got attacked last week if it wasn't for you.
More you hit your boy.
Which is pretty much what you said. But it's honestly on the same theme as, your consequences of actions. Like, I'm out here getting attacked because of your beef. The Fatus and shit, they don't have nothing to do with us. So they attack him, and then before that, Cody says hello to a celebrity, and that celebrity is Terrence Crawford. And after he gets attacked, Terrence Crawford hands him a chair. So Terrence Crawford be whooping feet, as Kendrick said. He hands him a chair, which that sets up for a main event later, because Cody goes to Aldis. He's like, I want him. And Aldis like, I'm not going to put you in a damn handicap match. Find a partner. And Cody's like, all right, I guess.
Who am I going to find?
Because right after that, there's a segment with the Bloodline, which Solo's, he switches up his talking again. He's talking a lot better. This promo was a lot better than video package was a lot better than last week. He's not doing that weird fucking asthma speak. And yeah, he's like, yeah, whoever teams up with Cody, you getting your ass whooped. If you team up with Cody, you getting fucked up. So that
is this. I think the exact words is, tonight better be a handicap, or else somebody's gonna pay the price.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is
he's not wrong.
Which is funny, which is dope. And the only thing I wish, it's a 2-hour show, and so I know they don't have a lot of time. But the only thing I wish is that they would have played on that a little more, where like Cody's like walking around and like he talks to someone, and they're like, you know what? I would love to, but I saw that video. I'm good, bruh. I saw what they did to DIY last week. I want no parts of it. That's the only thing I wish they would have did to like add to that, like, because it was that drama.
It was just quite predictable who his partner was going to be, just because he's been involved in like the storyline so far. So to even like give us the idea of like, maybe Cody's approaching like former like enemies, former people that he's beat, like, would have been cool. I know AJ's in fucking Japan right now, but I had to see him like approach AJ like, hey, would you mind being my partner? AJ's like, nah, just something to like give us like the hunt of Cody looking for a partner. Yeah, just like 2 segments. Like it could have just been 2 small segments where he talks to somebody random, someone who we haven't seen for a while, who's been in catering or something, and then he's like, you know what? I haven't been on TV in a minute, but I don't want to be on TV for that though. Like I ain't trying to die. Yeah, for sure. I want a match. I just don't want to die. I don't want that match. That would have. Yeah, to me that would have been good. But the message was sent. I agree with what you said. The only thing that made it maybe guess worthy was only the fact that obviously Owens was gone last week because of his mom. It came out like he posted. SmackDown's Friday, so he posted either Thursday or Wednesday that he said his mom kicked out and she was holding a shirt. So you could argue that, it might not have been KO, but as a smart wrestling fan who's been watching consistently, it's like, well, kind of like who else would it have been? Especially now that Seth.
That would have been heat.
But
knowing that his mom was fine now or better, it made it right there. Yeah, so
let the crowd push Drew out, or the security push Drew out, and Seth could have had that match on SmackDown this Friday. Shit would have been fine for me. that was the angle that could have been played there. My bad. I had side tangent over.
Yeah, no. Now that I think about it, that would have been heat. But yeah, that was pretty much the first thing. And after that, we get my match of the week, honestly, and we get fucking Mello versus Andrade, and man, they were hooping. These motherfuckers was working.
You know it's magic when it's black people and Mexicans coming together. That shit was gas. Like they was fucking. It was amazing. Them boys was wrestling, and it was a match. I just wanted it to be longer, bro. Pause. That sounds crazy. I just wanted the match to not be 10 minutes, but 3 minutes of that is ads. So it's only 7 minutes actually wrestling between like those two because they was cooking. Man, like them boys was actually in there gassing that shit up, bro. It was such a good match.
It was a good match, and yeah, besides the Money in the Bank, this was their first match, and the chemistry, like this match was fire to me. For me, it was fire from beginning to end. Like they started cooking like immediately, like soon as the bell rang, they were like doing all sorts of shit. Like I couldn't write down the spots. It was just the match was just fucking.
No, I was watching this. This was
this match was like highly recommend watching this match.
It gave me black and gold NXT vibes.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like to me. It just felt like the fluidity, the quickness of the match, the pacing, like it was very nostalgic to like that era of like NXT wrestling.
Yeah,
they did their thing.
15 to 20 more minutes and like 5 false finishes. That's an easy black and gold match.
That's a North American Championship match right there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, amazing match. Those dudes have a lot of chemistry. They need to run that shit back. Honestly, fuck it. Give me a best of 7. I don't give a fuck. Like, hey, run that shit back. Like that shit was hood. That shit was heat.
Look, we ain't had an Iron Man match. Give me a little 15-minute Iron Man match. I'll take it. A little. I'm cool. I'm asking for a lot.
After that, we get Nia and Bailey have a split screen promo, and which was really good. And Bailey bars her ass up and is like, "Man, you didn't hurt me just because you're big and you're strong. No, you hurt me because you're reckless, inconsiderate, like careless. You know,
big, clumsy, and reckless.
Yeah, big, clumsy, and reckless. Yep. And it's like,
oh fuck.
And Nia took that shit personally.
Online. Yeah, that's what niggas were saying.
Yeah, and it was honestly there was a point.
It was valid criticism.
There was a point to where
she was true.
She was like, it looked like, like there was some matches where it's like, it looked intentional, and like I don't ever want to put that on a wrestler. And like obviously she's way better than what she was, but there was a point in time where it's like, yeah, she looked like. It's like, yeah, it looked like it's like, do you even care about? Like, it looks like,
my God, that's a human being, Nia.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't want to wrestle you. It looks like you, yeah, like it's like wrestling Ryback or something. I'm good. I'd rather not, you know. But it was a really good promo. And then after that, I mean, it leads into the women's match because we get Michin versus Tiffany Stratton. And Nia is at Tiffany's side, which she eventually causes some distraction, which leads Bailey to come out, which causes distraction for Tiffany. Bailey breaks her briefcase, so we might be getting that pink briefcase we was talking about. Because Bailey destroys her briefcase. Bailey attacks Nia with it, hits her with it. Like clotheslines her over a barricade or some shit. Yeah, and then destroys the briefcase, which
destroys it.
Yeah, which gives
Michin slides it back. Like, here you go.
Yeah, it gives Michin a roll up pin, and Michin wins, and the losing streak of the Money in the Bank holder starts now. Because usually, when you hold that case, you lose a lot of matches until you win the most important match you need to win. But yeah, Michin gets a good televised win, a good win on Tiffany. And yeah, the story continues, and let's get that pink briefcase, baby. And Tiffany had they had a really good promo video package of her. That had a cool song to go with it, and it was a really good ass video package, man. Like their production team is just so good.
They've been killing this since Mania. We can all agree with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We get the LA Logan promo.
Another good promo battle, like. Just as good as Priest and Gunther was, this is also just as good. It doesn't hit the same emotional strings as you're a street rat, but like no, like we talked about it off air. Like no, they were barred each other up. This was a really good pro. Logan, as much as I hate this, like
I can't stand that nigga.
he gains until this last like month and a half. He gained so much goodwill from me, and then all of a sudden he just threw it away, hanging out with Trump and shit. But like wrestling wise, like he's really good. It's just
I don't know.
Logan the wrestler. I like Logan the wrestler. Logan the human being. I'm good on you, man. You were close to get my favor, but nah, I'm good. Like you fucked it all over again. But fucking LA Knight killed it. Like he's ever since a little bit before Mania, he has been firing on all cylinders. He has not missed a single fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like since the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
like, LA Knight's been cooking,
and this is a really good ass match. We talked about last week. I was hoping for like a comedic route. They kind of got straight to the point, but which I'm not mad at because this promo was so good. Yeah, I can't be mad at it. Like what they said was like, I didn't write any quotes down. I was just like thoroughly invested in it, and they were barring each other up. It was really good.
Yeah, I think there's a part of the promo where he's like, you don't have the balls like your brother to like, get in the ring with like, these boxers and Mike Tyson and XYZ. And you can kind of see like strike a chord with like Logan because he's like, the Paul brothers are, going to take everything worldwide. And he's just bigging up like them as like a group. But it's just like LA knows where to hit Logan at. Like he knows I'm going to show up at your pool, like just be in your spaces, like, because you're not going to do nothing. And kind of like, forcing his hand that he has been trying to force his hand for months now. And it worked. So now we're going to get the Logan Paul LA Knight match at SummerSlam in Cleveland. I expect another Prime mascot to come out and do something. I don't know who's going to be. Maybe this time it is going to be Jake. Maybe you do get Jake Paul in the ring. Because I would assume that this would be Logan's last match with the U.S. title. So you might as well go out with like, pretty. I
think Jake has a match coming up soon, though. I don't know if he'll do anything physical.
I don't,
or a fight, not a match. A match.
Maybe he's in the crowd. Maybe he hands him the brass knuckles or something. But he's hopefully he'd be a part of it, just to kind of like tie up.
It's his hometown. I mean, he's not. He resides in Puerto Rico, like when you hear his announcement, but it's his hometown, so it could, it could honestly be anybody. It could be his fucking mom, for all we know.
It's true.
Someone.
This leads into like a little quick promo backstage between Santos and LA, and I'm pretty sure this is probably what's going to be after LA wins. You probably get some Santos and LA Knight matches for the US.
Yeah, but honestly, they're more than likely going to fight next week, and Logan might like intervene or some shit. Because because LA was like, I have plenty of time. I mean, I have some time until SummerSlam if you want to get busy. And he's like, you can call me. Your mom has my number. Just fucking just belligerent to say. And I must say, Electra Lopez looked very nice.
Not the Borat. That's funny. We got earlier in the show, we get a quick squash match between Bianca and Chelsea, which sets up like an Alba and Isla like promo or Isla promo. And my question with this is that have they been wrestling? Quick answer, no. They have not wrestled since June 24th. I looked this up. They're the women's tag team champions. We got to get them on TV. It's unacceptable. Get them on TV. They won at Clash of the Castle. It's been almost a month since they've been on TV. Get them in there.
They haven't wrestled on TV because
they wrestle live events, but they haven't wrestled on TV.
Yeah, and I think the reason because they haven't wrestled, and I have no idea, but I think the reason is because they're trying to not reset, but flush out this tag team division now, because that's why we're getting the Damage Control versus Lyra and the Ravers, and then now we're getting the Sonya, Zoe, Shayna. I think they're trying to flesh out the division and make, but that's also not a full excuse because you could just put them in a match.
Like two things can be done at the same time.
Yeah, but also they don't have a lot of jobbers or tag team jobbers in the women's division unless you beat Chelsea and Piper again. But I don't know. I mean, They're the tag team
solo
champions.
matches, 1v1s with your partner in the corner. Like,
and then my thing, being the tag team, you can go to all 3 shows. So
exactly, it'd be an NXT. Like, do something.
Yeah.
My thing is that the concept of scheduling a rematch is bigger than the actual attention on the champions themselves, or bigger than the champions themselves. So, because right now the storyline is like, oh, I got to talk to Pierce so I can get this rematch. That's what Jade and Bianca's doing. Mm-hmm. Then we have like Piper and Chelsea hanging around, like looking for like their next rematch as well. Mm-hmm. Like the story of them scheduling the rematch, like I said, is just bigger than actual like who the champions are. Get them girls on TV. Like they deserve to be like doing something. Hopefully this upcoming Friday. We'll see them in the ring because they need to like be on TV, especially to build up that women's tag team like title like division.
Yeah, they need to be. Yeah, they, even if it's some local talent, they need to beat somebody up or just have a random NXT tag. Or I mean, because even the NXT women's division doesn't have like too many like established or not even just jobbers, just like established tag teams. Like there's not a lot of established women tag teams right now. Yeah, you got Chelsea and Piper, you got the Black Bombshells. You got the tag team champions, the Ravers, and then Chelsea and Piper. That's a group of 5. So that's 5 teams.
Yeah.
Or total. So it's like we need. Yeah, I mean, get some enhancement talent real quick. Have a 3-minute competitive squash match or something. Yeah, they need to. I agree with you. Having them not wrestle on TV since winning the titles is odd. And it's not a good look. I don't think they're going to lose their next. Like whenever they do defend it next, I don't think they're going to instantly lose it. But it would help.
That'd be fucked up if they did.
It would help. Yeah, no, it would help if they defended it on TV or at least had a match. Like I mean,
maybe you should just sit in ringside watching 2 people have the match. Like just being like involved in the aura of the women's tag team division.
Yeah, that too. Next time the Ravers and the. I don't want to call them lesbian shield. That's what the internet calls them. They need a fucking name.
They do need a name.
The fighters, whatever. Like, have them at the fucking announce table. Talking to Wade Barrett because he's from the other side of the pond. He's part of the UK or whatever. Yeah, just like shit like that.
Just get them involved.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. I 100% agree with that.
Main event was Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens is the surprise guest for the surprise partner.
Wait, hold on. Okay, wait, real quick. So we get the back. Like Cody's walking backstage. He looks upset. He looks like, oh man, I didn't find a partner. I'm gonna do this handicap anyway, but I'm still sad. And then a wild KO appears, and then that's when you get the wild KO appears music. Y'all play Pokemon. Come on, wild KO appears. That shit was heat. I like how he came off camera already wrapping up his hand. He barely said a word. It was just like, let's get to work.
It's like, let's do it.
Yeah,
it was dope. It was a dope camera shot for sure. That shit was tight. But this is if in the same vein of Pokemon. This is like running through the Route 1, and inside your grass it's just Caterpies. You knew exactly who the fuck was going to be.
Yeah,
you knew there was only one Pokemon here.
Yeah, you're in the Vermilion Forest. You want a fucking Pikachu, but you keep getting nothing but Caterpies and Weedles and a fucking Metapod and Kakuna. It's like, fuck, I want this goddamn Pikachu. I gotta fight Misty soon, damn it.
Dead ass. Oh, fuck. Yeah. So we get KO, Cody versus A-Town Down.
Good match. Before the shenanigans and shit, the baby faces went clean, but good match, man. Waller, he's been growing in real time, and I just wanted to comment on that because this Waller versus the Waller that when he first came up to the main roster, because he wasn't in NXT that long. Like he did have some cool matches, like he was part of the War Games match with Carmelo and Braun Breaker and I think it was Tony D'Angelo or whatever, the new school versus the old school. He had a match with AJ Styles and all this other shit. But yeah, he wasn't super christened. He wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed when it came to being crazy in ring, but he's growing in real time. He looked good, and I mean, theory, he's always looked good. It's just more of a personality thing as far as connecting with the fans and the audience.
Man. And that's my side of the coin, to where Waller is doing a good job and in whatever capacity you decide to use him, and Waller's been fucking killing. It's just like Austin Theory. Like I will be an Austin Theory like fanboy, whatever you want to call it, but the dude is good, yo. It's just how do we capitalize and use that potential, because he definitely has it, and you can kind of see it to where like they're trying to like throw hints at the team breaking up to maybe you will get Theory on like a babyface run possibly, and maybe that might be the case too. Maybe Theory needs to be a babyface. Maybe they have ideas on how to use him there, because I could see Theory versus Carmelo. I could see you running that a couple times. Maybe. I think
they already did it like once or twice. Because it wasn't that the match where Theory got like concussed for a hot second. Because like him and it was before Melo got called up. It was like the Melo had like 2-3 random matches on SmackDown for whatever reason, and I want to say it was him and Theory, because they did a spot where one of them got. I want to say it was Theory. He got concussed or some shit, and then they ran it back.
I didn't remember
that. It was before Mania. I don't know. It was like a random like 3-week thing, but they were good. They were good. Like Theory is a good talent. He has the look. He has the fucking move set. He has the physique. He is it's just connecting with the audience. And we talked about this before. Like my favorite version of him was when he was part of DIY, when he was playing like the doofus big brother. He can do the comedic shit. The heel shit isn't working, or at least it's not working right now. And if anyone can make him a baby face that like fans would like, it can be Waller. And it seems like they're still hinting at it, but it seems like they're not rushing to it. Because they need to make this turn a little. It needs to be really good for the fans to like finally care about Theory, because since he's been on the main roster,
and don't gas it out. Don't drag this bitch out. This don't need to be an Otis Chad thing. We can do this effectively and efficiently too. Yeah. Like I don't need little hints of like, oh well, he's talking about his back, and then now he might hit him, but he doesn't hit him. Like no, we can wrap this up quicker.
Yeah, please, like again, happy medium, because it seems like they killed the Chad shit. It's going, or not the Chad shit, the Otis and Chad shit. They're going to eventually return to it, but is it going to be as high? Is it going to be as hot as it could have been a couple of months ago? Like when we finally first got that push and the crowd was popping and like he ripped his shirt off.
Yeah, they wanted Otis. Yeah, like they didn't capitalize on Otis's momentum. I will say that because now Otis is teaming up with Woods to go after Final Testament. Yeah, it's coast out. So it's like they definitely missed that opportunity, or at least I feel like they missed that opportunity with Otis.
I think Triple H likes the long-term storytelling. If I had to guess, like Otis and Xavier, they might lose that match. Chad might have a quick backstage segment with him. It's like, you should have stuck with me. Now I got real winners, and it's going to be a slow. It's going to be a slow cut.
We get the spooky people after they fucking playing Scary Movie 6 with fucking Chad and fucking the White 6.
They didn't lose though. They get beat up yet though. As far as like,
I don't think that you could afford to put Otis on the back burner. His momentum can't it has to be hot. You can't let it go cool down and try to build him back up again. It just doesn't work like that for Otis.
Yeah,
whenever he gets hot, you gotta capitalize.
They might have dropped the ball. Only time will tell. I feel like they should have struck not Money in the Bank, but whatever. What was it, Clash of the Castle or whatever? But it's one of those moments we'll see. But I agree with you. I hope they don't take it too. I'm fine with the long game, but it can't be. It can't be like the MCU version of the long game where it took us like 8 years to finally get to Infinity War.
Yeah. You're right.
Granted, movies versus TV is different, but we shouldn't, because again, it looks like they put the Otis and Chad shit on the back burner. So what we're gonna wait another 3 months? Was this going to finally start happening at Royal Rumble or some shit? That's a very long time. Yeah, because the Clash of the Castle was one of that. Between WrestleMania and Clash of the Castle was like the hottest moments for it, Mm-hmm. And it seems like they might have dropped that ball, but we will see.
We got to talk about post match. So after the match, we get Bloodline entering the scene.
Yeah.
All 4 of them come out, and
Cody and
start
KO
putting
win,
hands and
by the
feet.
way. I don't know if we said that.
But yeah, Cody and KO win. And they get hands and feet put on them by the Bloodline. Every last one of them, except for what is it? Tama? Wait, no, Tonga. I don't know. The one in the suit.
He gets his eye scratched.
Yeah, he gets his eye scratched out. Like which is crazy to take a man's face off. KO playing dirty. He's like, fuck it, we gonna take one of them. I'm gonna break his fucking eyes.
Hey, that's what's up. Ain't no fairness in street fights, especially if you
ain't no fairness.
Like, I mean, I have a moral compass. If it was a 1v1 fight, I will try to square up with somebody, and be fine. But if I'm 5'10", if I'm having a 1v1 fight with a nigga that's like 6'3", and it's a street fight, you might get hit with a chair, my guy. I gotta win, especially if my wife is around. So,
that's fucking funny.
I got no problem. No problem with scratching the eyeball. I feel it. And it's funny because he was at a house show. I think it was tonight. Oh yeah, because Friday he's at a house show. He's wearing an eye patch right now, so he's selling the ice cream.
No, that's great.
Which is good.
That's fucking amazing. Oh shit, yeah. He scratches his eyes. He's fucked up. We then see enter Jacob Fatu, and he's giving Kevin Owens like 16 fucking hip thrusts. That man definitely has a concussion of some sort, based on the amount of times he's getting fucked up over there.
And the reason Fatu came out because Kevin and KO were starting to get even though they were outnumbered, even though they were outnumbered by one guy, like they were getting the upper hand, and then that's when the enforcer came, and he said,
it's like, man, we gotta end this shit.
Yeah, woo! Samoan World, baby.
And it made me think, like, yo, a Jacob Fatu versus Kevin Owens, like that would be a good match too. Like that would be a very good match. I was like, these two 1-on-1, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I need that match though. I mean, I need that match. I need the first match where, of course, Fatu is going to have the buffs on. But I need that.
Absolutely.
I need the match where they at equal playing field because I know that shit.
Yeah, I don't need.
I know that
Power Ranger Fatu.
Yeah, no, I need the equal playing, like, cause that shit is going to hit because they
have similar styles.
Both of
them are strong. Both of them do like aerial maneuvers when they need to. Both can talk on the mic like that. Ooh, that would be fucking solid.
Maybe this could be one of our questions, but like just a random like a Fatu and KO as a tag team.
Oh my god,
that would be amazing.
God,
maybe that could be a question. Like, just make up a random tag team. Choose 2 random wrestlers to be in a tag team or some shit. Just similar to our factions. But man, Fatu and Kevin Owens.
Oh my god, that would be fucking ill.
Fight, werewolf, fight, nigga. Let's go.
Nigga, oh my god.
I would.
Too much power. Too much power.
If I'm booked to fight them, I'm good. Throw it in the towel.
Nigga, a pop-up powerbomb followed by like a whisper in the wind, like that's crazy, bro. Ugh. Yeah. They end up fucking throwing Cody through the table via Cerberus powerbomb, Shield powerbomb. Yeah, stop fucking with them boys. Like, just respectfully.
Man.
Stop fucking with them. Paul told y'all. They are different. They are violent.
They're criminals. They're thugs.
These thugs are not to play with. Save yourself.
Gunther needs to do a promo on them. They are degenerates.
Oh, yes. If he said the you people to them, I would understand. Because you people over here are different. You don't belong here.
They also killed Kevin Owens too. Besides the 1,000,
they did with the chair shot.
They did a chair thing, where they put it around the chair around his neck and like run him into the ring post.
Fuck.
So yeah,
I mean, they did say whoever shows up, you gonna get fucked up. They did not lie. There is no lies with this new bloodline. Everything they say they're gonna do, they're gonna do. My question is, before we get out of here, Anyway, Solo beats Cody.
No, absolutely not. It wouldn't make it wouldn't make a lick of sense. It wouldn't make a lick of sense. No, Cody beats Solo because WWE. Roman fucking helps, and then we get a random either it's at the Bash of Berlin or it's a random SmackDown, but we get a Roman and Cody tag match, bro. No, Cody does not lose his title. And
no way.
Wouldn't Roman? I mean, not to Solo. I mean, he's gonna lose the title, but he ain't losing the Solo. That would be, I don't know, man. That'd be ridiculous. And also, side note, I really hope they don't go after the titles anytime soon. I know they attacked DIY last week, and I'm glad DIY wasn't here this week. And they also stated on SmackDown there's going to be like a tag team gauntlet match to determine the number one contenders. Yeah, but I'm because you see people online like, oh, just wait till this Bloodline has all the titles, or just wait till this. Like, I'm honestly between Judgment Day and between the original Bloodline, the last 2-3 years, the last thing anyone should want is one group holding all the titles. It bottlenecks storylines, it bottlenecks talent. I don't want it. No one should want it. Keep them niggas away, especially when you got Tasmanian Devil and Taint Puncher out there. Just no.
TP Loa. Oh fuck. Okay, I just looked at the match card for that gauntlet match. Street Profits, Baron Corbin, Paulo Cruz, which is shout out to you for calling that one out. Good Brothers, Pretty Deadly, Legado, Bloodline. So I'm gonna quickly break this down real quick. Baron Corbin and Apollo, too new, not gonna win that.
No.
Pretty Deadly, would love for them to do that. Still no momentum as of right now. Not gonna do it. Legado, no, they're just not putting enough effort into like Legado as like a unique tag team. And it's Angel and Berto, so it's not even Santos, so no. Which leaves Street Profits and Bloodline. These two is a toss up for me. I would love Profits to like get that. But do you do the story of DIY versus Street Profits? Is there something there that can be told? I don't really think so.
I don't think okay. So based off what you said, to me the only option are because DIY is our faces. So to me, it's either Bloodline, Pretty Deadly, or Legado, and I don't want Bloodline. So then, to me, it's either Pretty Deadly or Legado, especially if it's just a one-off feud. That's because like you said, Baron Corbin, Apollo, they're just now getting established. They don't have shared music yet or even a name. And
I like Good Brothers too, but they gotta respect Good Brothers. Like they don't respect Good Brothers.
They're heels. So yeah, they could work. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna do a babyface versus babyface team. So I would immediately take out Street Profits and I would take out Baron and Cruz, and then that leaves the heels. And it's like, do we want to get entangled in a Bloodline storyline? Because those don't end. Like, Bloodline storylines are similar to Jericho Vortexes. They don't just end in 1 month.
But
and I don't want them to have the belts. So I'm gonna say no to that.
You gotta have them fight a tag team when Roman come back. So when Roman come back and you do get Jimmy and eventually Jay, you gotta have something there. Oh, the Bloodline has a tag team belt, so it's fucking
there's no
one of them. They don't need it. They don't need it. I personally agree. They don't need it.
It's a family blood feud.
The way that WWE works, some piece of gold has to be involved, especially if Solo's now going to have the Universal.
It's not about the gold, bro. It's about the
so
lay.
One or the other.
It's about the lay.
Would you rather?
It's about.
Would you rather Solo have the belt?
Absolutely not.
Or Fatu and Tama have the belt, or Tonga and Tama have the belt.
It wouldn't be Fatu. It'd be Tonga and Tonga, and I don't want that shit neither, nigga. Because they don't even talk. But they're gonna win the belt, and he's going, yeah.
Oh,
no, I don't want to hear that shit. Honestly, I do Pretty Deadly because the comedy, it could be a good, like, it'd be one off, like Pretty Deadly versus DIY would be a really good match, and you can get some good ass, you can get some good ass like promos and like comedy shit. So my guess is either Pretty Deadly or Legato, but
entertainment wise, Pretty Deadly. They got the scripts. You're gonna be able to carry that for 3 to 4 weeks. Cool. One off, Good Brothers. I think DIY versus Good Brothers in just a tag team match will be fucking gas. I think you have 2 hard hitting tag teams. So that'd be fucking dope.
Yeah. Good Brothers. I'd say Pretty Deadly, Good Brothers. Well, shit. Yeah, if it's just a really quick one off, then just do Good Brothers, I guess. Because I want Pretty Deadly. They need as much I need them to get these titles, honestly. Pretty Deadly, man. Y'all wasn't watching NXT UK like that. Pretty Deadly is fucking legit, man. Yes,
they
boy, they are really good.
Yes, boys are dope.
But yeah, based on those teams, man. Yeah, I think Bloodline and Corbin are too soon. I would take those teams out
for sure. Bloodline doesn't need it. Baron Corbin's too soon. Yeah, perfectly fine with that.
And then you need some heels. But you need babyface versus heels. So yeah, I would say Legato, Pretty Deadly, and OC are heels. So OC could work.
Exactly.
OC could work.
And that's the wrap up of SmackDown, folks. Like I said, all in all, very good week for wrestling. I think I think SmackDown was okay. It wasn't as strong, but it was still a good, entertaining aspect of SmackDown. Mm-hmm. All shows did a really good job this week. But we're gonna get out of here. We got next week's episode should be a regular episode, and then following that should be the SummerSlam episode. So yeah, we're wrapping up until a very big August because we got SummerSlam beginning of August, and then we have All In, and then we also have Bash in, I think Berlin's in August too. So we got 3 solid shows coming up in the month of August. So definitely stay tuned with us to check those out. But for right now, we're gonna get out of here. It's been real, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.